Well, I'm back. And can you believe that is the first time I've ever had a Facebook Live or YouTube Live interrupted by a phone call? So, uh, let me finish up what I was saying about the cock of the walk. So, um, it did really well for quite a number of years. And like I said, they franchised over a dozen different places. And then the three partners who were already older when they got into it decided, we've had a good time with it and everything. Let's see if we can find a buyer. Oh boy. And they found a buyer. And by the time they decided they were going to sell it, they had already started expanding the menu, which had started off as simple as I told you it was, but they started adding on shrimp and oysters and chicken and a few other items, but which to me kind of ruined it because to me it was best when it was just a specialized thing, just catfish. But anyway, they decided they wanted to divest themselves of the business, and they found a buyer in Morrison Cafeterias. And like so many times, somebody comes in and takes a good thing and starts doing crazy things to it. And the first thing Morrison started doing was tinkering with some of the recipes. And the next thing you know, people are coming in and eating, and they're leaving, and for the first time they're getting a scowl on their face. They're saying, what was that? What's happened to the coleslaw? What's happened to the cornbread? And it's kind of like, well, we changed owners. New management was brought in that just didn't understand the cock of the walk. It was too much corporate. But then Morrison got tired of it, and they started selling off some of their cock of the walks. And a member of one of the original owners, family members, bought the local cock of the walk. But unfortunately, the lady that was one of the original owners, Miss Ballard, she wound up wanting to sell the building, which was her prerogative. But she didn't want to just sell the building. She wanted to, well, it doesn't matter. But what it wound up being is that the cock of the walk had to leave its building that it had been in for so many years and done so well in. And so it moved on top of the hill where the other Natchez is. Moved up there to what was called the Depot, an old train station overlooking the Mississippi River. And at that time, it was owned and operated by Buddy and Patricia Clark. And they did a very good job for many years up there. But unfortunately, the city of Natchez owned the Depot building. And it was beginning to get into terrible states of disrepair. And the city could not afford to fix it. And so they came up with plans to get a grant money to do it and other connections, like with the state of Mississippi. And one of the stipulations was it could no longer house a for-profit business. So the cock of the walk had to move out after a number of years on top of the hill. And that was it. So Natchez, where the cock of the walk first started and brought so much happiness and so many good years of good eating and lots of fun, came to an end. If I ever hit the lottery, I'm going to do my best to reopen a cock of the walk here, because we sure do miss it. Boy, it was a great place. I was going to tell you, one of the things that the waiters became specialists at was cornbread flipping. I don't know who started it, but they would bring out these little skillets with a pone of cornbread in it. And at first it was just, they would just hold it and give a simple little flip. One revolution, the cornbread, the pone would land back in the skillet. They'd cut it up and serve it. Then they started doing more and more flips. And more flips. And they became so proficient at it that for groups of people, they could throw it up in the air, do spins, spin their body around, come back around and catch it. For tour groups, they would often get in the back and one waiter be on one side of the room, the other one on the other end of the room. They'd both have skillets of cornbread and they would throw them to each other. These cornbread would be flying around that place all the time. Most of the time it made it back into into a respective skillet. Sometimes it didn't. And I'm not going to tell you what happens when a pone of cornbread finds a ceiling fan. Just use your imagination, but it happened more than once. Could tell you lots of wonderful stories, but there'd probably be great liabilities attached to it. But just suffice to say, for the record, that's the Cock of the Walk. How it got its start, how it got its name. Like I said, I can't really tell you because it's kind of audacious. Some of the names of the rooms in the old Cock of the Walk, but it sure was fun. Oh, wait a minute! Besides those mugs, look, when the Cock of the Walk closed on top of the hill, they had a big sale where people could come in and buy various things. They were selling everything, and I wanted everything because I'm hugely nostalgic. But look, here's some pictures. This is one of the things I got. Oh, you can see the reflection. Look, they were doing the medicine show. They used to have something called Floozy Day under the hill. And there's Ouida Colbank in her character as Dr. Morphinius Codeine Shingles. But Floozy Day, I don't remember when it started, but it was part of the great steamboat race that was held every year between the Delta Queen and the Mississippi Queen. And their stop in Natchez would include a performance, an abbreviated performance of the medicine show on the front porch of the old Cock of the Walk, and you see how rustic the building was. And then participants off the respective boats would be dressed up like floozies and parade around. Now you'll see down here, Ouida became very good friends with the actress Helen Hayes. And Helen Hayes was a judge for at least 2 years. There's Ouida's husband, Forrest. But there's Helen Hayes. In fact, Ouida had a bracelet that Helen Hayes gave to her. So, but I have quite a few bits of artwork that hung on the walls of the old Cock of the Walk. And out in my shop, I have some signage that Ouida Colbank had made for various rooms in the Cock of the Walk. And those are very near and dear to me. So anyway, there you have it, the history of the old Cock of the Walk. So let's play it on out.
There you have it, folks.